Hello?
Hello, is Marc Stevens there, please?
Speaking.
Hi, Mark. It's Sandy. Elizabeth Flynn. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
I can, and Mr. on the line also.
Okay, hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. So you have you have some questions for us.
I do. We spoke with before, and was not able to present any kind of evidence that the Constitution and Canadian laws were applicable to Jeff, and she said she didn't know how to answer that, or she couldn't answer that we'd have to speak to one of the lawyers in the legal division. Are you one of the attorneys?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So that's what we're looking for.
Who are you?
My name is Marc Stevens.
Are you a lawyer?
I hardly see all that's relevant to an issue of evidence that we're having.
Mr. Stevens, what's your qualifications?
My qualifications? I'm an investigator. I've been working with people in the courts and assisting people to be their own, to basically defend themselves against bureaucratic attacks for the last 12 years.
Okay. So you are questioning the application of the vehicle impoundment regulations?
Yes, we were asking for evidence. We've already spoken to a number of people at the RCMP, and they didn't have any evidence either, and one of them hung up on us. So we just want to know what evidence, if any, there is to prove that the Constitution and laws apply to Mr.
Well, Mr. is a Saskatchewan resident and a Canadian citizen. Operating his vehicle on Saskatchewan highways is subject to provincial legislation. And my understanding is his vehicle was impounded because he had failed to renew his driver's license.
Right, but it still doesn't answer my question. What evidence is there that the Constitution laws apply just because he's physically in Saskatchewan?
Well, the constitutional laws apply to anybody who's in this country.
Let me just write that down. They apply to anybody. Well, how do how do you know that's true? Why do the laws apply just because someone's physically present in Saskatchewan?
The laws of the United States apply to people that are in the United States.
No, I haven't found any evidence to that effect, and I've spoken to many federal prosecutors, and they don't have any evidence. They can't prove. In fact, I've confronted a video on my website where I confronted the Tempe City Council. They can't produce any evidence either. So, but here, what evidence in this particular instance do we have any evidence to show that the constitutional laws apply to Mr. just because he's physically located in Canada?
Well, let's put it this way, Mr. Stevens. Our position is that the laws apply. If Mr. is unhappy with that, he can certainly initiate a court action. But until such time as he pays the garage keeper fees, SGI will not authorize the release of his vehicle.
Well, I understand.
So if you're unhappy with that decision, then you certainly are in a position to challenge it through the Canadian courts. But
well, I understand that's your position, that's your opinion. I just want to know what evidence you have that the laws apply. I mean,
yes,
beyond your say-so.
I'm not. Obviously, you're taking exception to the application of the laws to citizens in this country.
No, I didn't say
Clearly,
that. I didn't say that. I'm taking what I'm challenging is this assertion that they apply to everyone and that the laws apply. I understand that's just your opinion. I want to know what evidence it's actually based on. What evidence do you have that just because he's physically... Let me finish. What evidence do you have that just because he's physically located in Canada that the Constitution and laws apply?
We seized his vehicle.
Yeah, I know. Well, in lay terms, they stole it. They took it by force, and I get that. I understand it. But what evidence do you or the police, the RMC...
No, that's my evidence. They took his vehicle. If you want to make an argument that they stole it, then you'll have to do that through the courts, okay?
Well, your evidence... Let me follow this. Let me write this down. Your evidence that the constitutional laws apply are because they took his vehicle by force?
No, we didn't take it by force. We took it under provincial legislation. Mr. Stevens, this conversation is at an end.
Why? Why? You're not going to hang up on me rudely, are you?
Yes, we are.
You're going to be rude and just hang up the phone?
I've told you what you can do if you don't like SGI's decision.
Well, are you knowingly proceeding then, absent any evidence of jurisdiction, and that the laws and the Constitution apply?
We are proceeding as if the laws of the Constitution apply.
As if. Well, that's an interesting phrase. Do you have? I get that you're doing that. We don't believe that you have any actual evidence to prove that. Now, again, do you have evidence to prove that the Constitution? You keep interrupting. Do you have evidence to prove the Constitution and Code apply just because he's physically located in Canada?
No, I don't. You can.
Wait. 1 second. Let me write this down. No, I don't. So you don't have any evidence of jurisdiction, but you're not going to give him his property back.
Correct.
You believe you're acting in good faith still?
Yep.
So you have no evidence, you just said, nope, I don't. And you believe that acting without evidence of jurisdiction, you're still acting in good faith?
Yep.
Wow. Can I speak to your supervisor?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Why not?
You'll have to contact him yourself. He's not available.
What's his name? Whoa. Is there a direct line for him?
Yep.
Could I please have that?